Well, good morning. I am actually getting ready to head out. I contacted Darci Isabella a few weeks ago and just asked her if she'd want to talk about Christmas, and so she invited me down. So I'll be traveling from Minnesota down to Illinois today. And I know a lot of you are already friends with Darci, but for those of you who haven't met her, she's a minimalist mom of 10, and she just does such a great job showing what it looks like for her family to live a minimalist lifestyle. So I've followed her for quite a while, and I've always liked how they celebrate Christmas at their house. They've simplified gift giving, but they still seem to have a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go visit with her about Christmas today, and I hope you'll join me.
Hey, I'm Darci, and if we haven't met before, I'm married to Joe, and we have 10 children, ages 6 to 26. Right?
That was okay.
First take, that was pretty good. Today's video is don't spend any money at Christmas. Done. See you later.
Our Christmases were kind of in the middle. Like, we knew like our cousins would probably get way more Christmas gifts than us. We had a pretty modest childhood, but like for Christmas and like vacations, those were kind of like their things. So for Christmas, we always knew that we would have a handful of gifts.
Growing up, we actually didn't have a lot of gifts, and we were happy with that. I think that's because that's all we knew. And
right.
So we got to pick from a catalog like 5 gifts, and then we received like maybe 2 or 3. I can remember the gifts. I told Elizabeth, this was yesterday, I'm like, I remember out of all those years we had all those gifts, I remember a tent and a cowgirl outfit. I don't know why. When I was really wanted this cowgirl outfit, I saw it in the Sears catalog, and I'm like, I'm getting this cowgirl outfit.
Right.
You know, so it was ridiculous. I don't know what happened. So about 21 years ago, I decided I really wanted to give Joe an amazing gift because he's been so helpful, and so I got him a foosball table. The cheapest I could find was $300, and I didn't have $300. I mean, just had my 3rd child, but it was really important to me. I wanted to spoil him, you know, as a thank you. So I wrapped it. He looked, the first thing he did was look at it. When it was wrapped, he's like, oh no, what did you do? Like,
yeah.
He didn't want me to spend money, and you know, so long story short, he ended up returning it. Yes, at the moment it did hurt my feelings, but in the long run, it was the smart thing to do, was return it. So then a few days later, I was looking down at all the gifts I had bought our children and him, and the gifts he bought me, and a lot of them were charged, some were cash, and I thought, what are we doing? Yeah. What is this all for? Why once a year do I, you know, explode our Christmas tree full of stuff that they barely play with, and you know, we barely remember, and now my husband's returning this gift, you know, and it wasn't about being upset or angry. It wasn't anything. It was just really having some soul-searching moment, you know, like, why am I doing this? So I have a video on more of this if you want to go back and watch it. We'll link it somewhere here and there. I always up, down.
It will be around.
You'll see it. It will link somewhere. So ultimately, I came to the decision that I really don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. And so I asked Joe, thinking this would be a really big. I did. I thought he'd be like, "What are you talking about?
Christmas.
Like, yeah, what's the matter with you?" And he's like, "Really? Okay." That was his response.
Right.
Okay. I'm like, "Oh, come on. Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Fine. We don't have to exchange gifts anymore." The real test was the following Christmas.
Yeah.
And we didn't spend anything.
Well, and I think that's what was so fun, was visiting with Stella and Felicita last night, and they were like, we don't feel like we're missing out on anything. And they like love Christmas. Like they look forward to it, but it's because of the time you spend together.
All in all, the day is fantastic, and we just have a really good time spending time together. Most of the older ones in the house work now, so Christmas gives us the opportunity to all spend together. And we just have a really good day. Especially with this one.
And I think a lot of us as parents, we feel like we've gotten in so deep now, and I think we feel like it doesn't necessarily add to Christmas, but we don't know how to like get out of it now, right? We think our kids have this expectation it's not going to feel like Christmas if we don't have tons of presents, but I think we just need to be honest with our kids, right?
Right, we were talking about this last night.
I think if they knew the stress and the burden it put on us, I think most of our kids, they don't want that. Like, they wouldn't want us to go in debt for their presents. They wouldn't want us to be stressed out about it and freaking out when we get the credit card bill in January.
Without sounding like a mean Grinch, let me think. This is just a suggestion. I want to clarify that. I don't want anyone to feel like they're telling us not to get, well, that's a horrible
If you're
thing to
feeling
say.
like Christmas has kind of lost the meaning, it's not what you hoped it would be, like maybe we just kind of need to get back to the basics.
So the idea is that instead of giving gifts, and like I said again, our family hasn't given gifts in the traditional sense in 21 years.
Yeah.
So this is just an idea for everybody else, that if you are the type that used to be like me and you would charge all your Christmas gifts, instead of buying your children a ton of gifts, and if you're in debt, take the amount, the cash, obviously not your charge, take the amount you would spend on Christmas and put it towards debt. Now, I know that's a totally radical way of thinking, but it actually is, it's not just beneficial to you and your spouse, it's also beneficial to your children. And even if you're single, you can do the same thing. I'm talking about families here because both Dawn and I have families, but if you're single, you can do the same thing. I mean, that is a gift in itself. Right. Joe took his bonus and he said, he got it the week of my birthday last month, and he said, what do you want to do? Do you want to go out? Do you know, the biggest birthday present you can give me, and put it all to the debt. And he did. I didn't know if he was gonna, the whole thing went to the, and it was like the best feeling. I was so happy. It meant the world to me, and better than any gift I could have received. That was it.
And then plan a special day with your family, like of just
and save for it,
spending time together. Like cook a meal together. I've talked about this before, but I'm like, my mantra has been, your kids want to spend time with you. Like, they want you. Any present you can wrap up does not compare to everybody putting their cell phones down. You put your phone down, they put their phones down, and you're like, we are going to spend the day together, and we're going to cook together, and we're going to play a game together. And it sounds cheesy, like, oh, that's, but you know, that's what perfect families do.
Love it.
They would love it. If you do it with them, I think it'll be the most memorable Christmas.
Our teenage boys here, they still love playing these Italian card games with my husband. On Sunday, they're like, come on, Dad. And if Joe's tired, he's like, no, I'm going to play with you. And they have such a great time. Just so you all know, we have 2 cameras on us. And I'm looking at Dawn's audience. So I'm very sorry. I don't know where you're looking, but the second option, if you're not in debt, is to take the amount you would spend on all the Christmas gifts and donate it to charity, and specifically children and families that don't even have a place to stay, that live in shelters. And I was thinking that not to donate specific gifts, but just even, they don't even have the minimum basics of food, shelter, clothing, boots, scarves, jackets to play out in the snow, and sit down and itemize like what these children and families don't have, so your children see where that money is going to and what you're giving for, so they understand the cause and the meaning behind it and why we're doing this instead of, you know, what we did last Christmas. Because like you said, what do you do? Just suddenly change? Like, I changed it when my children were very young, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Right, it wasn't that big of a deal. But people that are like 8, 10, 12, they're like, wait, what's going on here? You know, so sit down with them and explain to them specifically where the money's going. Your kids have, like, I feel sometimes like my kids are so selfish and they only, but like, they're not. Like, kids have good hearts. If you give them the opportunity to understand, they will. They will. They do.
And they'll want to do it too. No, absolutely. And so a third option, if you're kind of trying to transition from like a full out Christmas to really cutting back, would just to do one gift, you know, but try to find something like a game, something that you can all play with together. And then plan for that day that, oh, we're gonna get this gift and then we are gonna take time, you know, to play it together. And so
that's a fantastic idea.
I think your kids would love that just as much too. If they know they get time with you on that day, I think that's the best gift that you can give them.
We really hope you like our suggestions, whether you follow it or you don't follow it. And if you do, let us know what you decide. Let us know what you decide to do. Are you doing 1, 2, or 3? And and tell us, you know, was it fun? Did you enjoy it? Or share how you celebrate a more minimal Christmas.
Absolutely.
That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Is that good?
Good.